Hey, it's Jonathan Gable here. Thanks so much for coming on back. You know I love talking to you about all this credit card processing stuff. One of the topics that's still at the top of the topic list, I guess you could say, is this EMV or this chip card technology. And it's a pain in the butt, and some people have it and some people don't. And sometimes I'm sitting at a store and it's like 30 seconds for the transaction to go through. So let me tell you a little bit about it real quick and why it's a good thing. So we all are familiar with credit card fraud. If I asked you right now, how many people do you know in the past month that have had their credit card data stolen or their identity stolen? You could probably name at least one, if not probably three, of your friends or family that have had or experienced this whole issue. The chip technology is geared towards eliminating that. Is it an immediate fix from day one you don't accept chips to day two you do accept chips? No, absolutely not. It's a long-term solution that requires everyone to be playing ball in order to really make it work. And here is why. On the back of your credit card, there's obviously that magnetic strip that you've become so familiar with, right? Historically, that magnetic strip was swiped into a credit card machine, and although that data is encrypted, it's still loosely encrypted, let's say. So that information, which has your card number, expiration date, your name, and all sorts of information, goes into your credit card machine or a business's credit card machine through your internet provider, your telephone provider, through their systems, to Visa, MasterCard systems, to the clearinghouses systems, and all of these different networks all have so many access points for hackers or criminals or whoever's doing this kind of stuff to get in, implant a virus, and just mine that data out. And once they have it, they put it on this black market web thing or whatever they do with it, and they sell your credit card information. Some crazy guy somewhere buys it off this black web thing and makes fake cards, and then they sell those cards or they go on shopping sprees, and that's technically how it works. That's the cycle. It takes anywhere from a couple weeks to a couple months for that to happen. What the chip technology does is when that chip is entered into that credit card machine, it basically communicates back and forth about 7 times. And that's why you'll see in the beginning there was a little bit of a lag there, a little bit of longer transaction time. But what it's doing is it's lining up all these security features. And the most important part of this is the fact that it creates a one-time use, what they call a token, that represents your credit card information. That token is only good for that one specific transaction. So when that data or that token is passed through your credit card machine, your internet provider, your internet provider's internet provider, all the way through Visa, MasterCard system, and then all the way back to you, back and forth how many times, the only bit of information that is basically hackable or stealable is that one-time use token that was generated for that one specific transaction. So even if there is a hacker somewhere sitting back with a catcher's mitt just waiting for this data to come in, even if they get it, there's nothing they can do with it. They can't recreate a credit card or anything with that bit of information because your card issuing bank and your merchant processor have a system that says this bit, this token, was only good for that pair of shoes that you bought on that day, at that time, at that second. So over time, as all of these merchants come online, all of the data that's being passed through the credit card processing networks are only just these bits of information that are only generated for one specific sale, and nobody can do anything with it. The only information that's going to be available for hacking or fraud after that is going to be the stuff or the transactions that were entered in via swipe. And that's why you see the big push to get away from that swipe technology. That's why Visa and MasterCard have rolled out this whole liability shift saying, hey, if you're not on board, if you're not capable of accepting this chip technology, then you are now liable for any fraudulent transactions. And if you've seen an uptick in how many chargebacks you're getting due to fraud, this is exactly why. The only way to protect yourself against this is to get on board with this chip technology. Terminals, to get it done, if you're holding back because of cost, chip technology, chip terminals, $200, give or take a little bit. You need 1, you need 2, you need 3. It's not $1,000. It's not thousands of dollars. Granted, there's variables there depending on how elaborate your system is. But, I would definitely recommend it. Is it going to stop it right now? No. Is it for the greater good of humanity in the long term? Absolutely. So strongly recommend getting on board with that. If you need help, if you have questions, if I can point in the right direction, or if you have more specific questions, I'd love to be able to speak to you on this. I love this topic. I see the future, and I think it's the best way to go. It's protecting you. It's protecting the processor. It's protecting your Aunt Sally from people hacking their information and doing all sorts of crazy stuff and buying some silly things with it. So look us up. Love to help you out.